Imagine waking up on a Monday morning and instead of that heavy dread in your stomach, instead of letting the chaos of life drive you on autopilot, imagine that you are the driver. And you're not reacting to your environment, you're actually creating it. You're growing, you're filling your own cup with energy. See, most corporate leaders think that, okay, that's impossible without me quitting my job today. They think that they have to leap into the void to be happy. But I'm here to tell you that that's a lie. And that is not the way to do it. That's actually the fastest way to burn out. I'm Jennie López, former Fortune 500 executive turned entrepreneur, and today I'm handing you my Unicorn Dream Makers framework. And this is the exact 5-step blueprint that high achievers like my clients use to launch their next bold chapter before they leave the safety of their paycheck. So if you want the freedom before the financial panic, keep watching. If you are new here, welcome. I help leaders like you build authentic personal brands so you can launch your business with clarity and confidence and without the burnout. Here's the truth. The jump from corporate to entrepreneurship is not about working harder, but it's about shifting your identity. And most people skip this internal work and they go straight to building a website and the colors and the branding. And that, honestly, without a soul, is just code. So the cool thing about my framework is that it builds the leader first so the business can follow. So let's break down the 5 pillars. Oh, and before you're starting to think this lady is crazy, she likes unicorns, honestly, it's more of a metaphor because many of us think that we are a unicorn standing out for the wrong reasons and we hide what makes us shine. So I'm here to tell you, you know what? That horn is your differentiator. Lead with it, but be intentional. That's how you create the impact that you're meant to have. So today I'm going to share with you the 5-step proven framework at a very high level. So next week I'm going to break down each of them with more examples, personal and also from my clients, so that way you see how they can actually fit even into your own life. Are you ready? I literally just dropped so much water into my top, so I had to change. But here we are. Let's go through the steps. Pillar number 1 is about intentional clarity. This is why it's so important. Without clarity, you go everywhere but nowhere. As you work into your next chapter, it's so important to define what is your next chapter. Clarity into what's the problem you want to solve. What is the client that you want to help? What are the superpowers that you bring into the picture and how you can help them? And why it's so important is because that clarity is going to be your North Star. I am not coming up with this, but inside of your brain, you have something that is called the RAS, the Reticular Activating System. And for the lack of better analogy, think about you have a bouncer inside of your brain. And every second of your life, you're just bombarded by multiple thousands of inputs. But that bouncer inside your brain says, okay, you're allowed to come in, but you, no, not you. So you have to train your bouncer because the bouncer is going to pick up cues from you. For example, if you're always thinking about the problems and the chaos and all the craziness of life, the bouncer is going to be like, ooh, Jennie likes chaos. Let's give her more chaos. But at the same time, if you want to focus on opportunities and solutions, your bouncer is going to say, we're going to be resourceful and creative, and we're going to give Jennie all of these amazing ideas so she can focus on problem solving and idea generation. The more clear you are, the more you're training your brass, your bouncer, to look for those opportunities that are going to start aligning for you, especially as you get ready to get into the next chapter. Now for this video, I'm going to give you some mini challenges that you can complete for each of the 5 pillars so that way you can get moving. So here's your first mini action. Tomorrow morning, before you check your work email or your calendar, I want you to ask yourself one specific question. What is one opportunity for my future that I can spot today? By asking this before you open Outlook or Gmail, you force the bouncer inside of your brain to scan for opportunities and not just problems. Do this for 7 days straight and watch what happens. Step number 2, unlock your superpowers. And if you want to go into a lot of detail in terms of the superpowers, I have several videos that I go into much more detail, and I also have a free resource in my description. Make sure that you link there and it's all yours. Here's the thing, everybody here has superpowers. I'm not talking everything that you do well, but the things that you excel at. 1, 2, 3, no more than that, because otherwise you dilute yourself. Some of those superpowers may be more tactical, technical, like data analytics, maybe it's coding or AI. However, there are other ones that we take for granted or we ignore because we don't think they're just as important. And those are the soft skills. Think about curiosity, the energy that you bring into the room, your ability to connect the dots, your ability to influence a whole team to go towards one goal. These soft skills, they're not just as powerful. I want to even say they're more powerful because in a world that is governed by AI, these soft skills are going to be your cutting edge and your differentiator. That's going to be the human aspect that you provide into everything that you do. So once you know what are your superpowers, own them. Own them, own your voice, and let that be the foundation of your personal brand. Because when you work on an intentional personal brand, it becomes a magnet for opportunities instead of you just like being vanilla like everybody else and blending like everybody else. You want to make sure that everybody knows who you are and how you can best help. And it comes down to the foundation of your superpowers. And here's your mini challenge. I want you to perhaps go back to your last performance review or even your resume and find something that perhaps people think is boring, like manage cross-functional team meetings. Now, I want you to translate that into a CEO language. Cross it out and write down, mastery in unifying diverse stakeholders to drive consensus. See the difference? One is more tactical, like something that an employee needs to do, but the other one can translate into a high-ticket consulting offer. You already have the goods, you just need to translate them. Step 3 or pillar 3 is all about unshakable confidence. See, in corporate, sometimes your confidence is rented from your job title. For example, I'm a director at this company, or I am a vice president at this company. But we need to build confidence on your own. You need to own it. Not rented by a job title. You are not your job title, especially as you go and transition into the next chapter. You need to own who you are and how you can best help. And I have another video that goes into details in terms of the position statement, but I'll give you at a high level. For example, instead of saying, hey, I am a director of engineering, I changed that to, I am a leader that transforms organizations by building cultures that win. That subtle change was what helped me do all these different career changes, from manufacturing to innovation to the business to HR, and now building this amazing business. Once you own your voice, it gives you this sense of freedom and also confidence that helps you lead no matter what. So one more time, do not say that you are your job title. Instead say, I help these people solve this problem by leveraging your superpowers. Practice this so it's not awkward or robotic, but it's really authentic to you. And that is your mini challenge. Pillar 4, step number 4, is about taking intentional action. See, the corporate life, sometimes they teach you to fill 8 to 10 hours, but entrepreneurship requires you to generate results, and sometimes in 20 minutes. Honestly, making the transition, working as you are generating this new chapter, doesn't mean that you need to work harder. You just need to be more intentional. And the way you do that is that you are very intentional and choosing with your yeses. Instead of keeping yourself busy thinking that hard work is what's gonna make it happen, no. Think about what are the top 2 or 3 things that are really gonna move the needle towards what is your next goal. And you just keep that consistency, the execution of your game plan, until you make it happen. So let's practice that today. Throw away, this is your mini challenge, throw away your 20 item to-do list that is honestly killing your focus. Right now, take a sticky note and write down what is the 1 or 2 things that are the high impact actions, I call it the needle movers, that honestly are gonna help you take you closer to that next goal of yours. We need to change that mindset of like just staying busy, because you just wanna be effective and intentional. Step number 5 is show the world. Finally, this powerful step, because many of us, especially in nuestra cultura latina, we are always saying like, hey, be quiet and stay in your lane and don't show off. Honestly, if you don't share with the world what you're good at and how you can best help, well, how will they know? You're gonna be the best kept secret out there. Remember, they're not here to read your mind. You need to help connect the dots for other people. So yes, share how you can best help, because that's the way that honestly you're gonna create more impact. And here's your mini action for today. Go to your LinkedIn profile right now, not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Look at your headline. Does it say, I'm a manager at that company? Hey, remember, you're not your job title. You wanna make sure that you have a phrase that claims who you are and what is your expertise. Remember the formula of the position statement? You have practiced. Now let's put it into execution into the LinkedIn world. You just want to claim the expertise before you have it on a business card. That is how you signal to the world and also to yourself that you are ready for your next chapter. And remember, you don't need to quit your job to finally go after your dream. You can start it at the same time. You just need to take these micro intentional actions to move your needle towards your next chapter. Now, today was the general breakdown of the whole framework, but in the upcoming weeks, I'm gonna go deeper into each of the pillars with examples of what has worked for myself, what has not worked, so you can also learn from my mistakes, and also what has worked with my amazing clients. So I can't wait to see you in the next video. If there's something here that helped you, make sure you put it in the comments. Let me know how I can continue to best help you, and continue to follow. Don't miss out on the deep downs that I'm gonna do in the upcoming weeks in terms of each of the pillars of this framework. Make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you on the other side. Adios. Hey, let me take a couple of seconds to share you about my Amazon bestseller book, Intentional Unicorn. This is your guide, my friends, and it's not about confetti and magic and unicorns. It's more of a metaphor, because I believe all of us are unicorns, and we many times try to hide that thing that makes us powerful. So instead of hiding it, let's lead with it in a very intentional way. Intentional Unicorn is how to bring your authenticity to finally shine and thrive in life, in career, and business. It actually goes through a whole guideline, not only with theory, but actual examples of things that did not work for me, so then you can learn from it, but the strategies that have helped beautifully, not just for me, but all of my clients, and is in Amazon. So make sure you go to the description on the link and enjoy it.